Not too long ago, back in 2007, a regular teen's car turned out to be an alien robot. And just like that, movie magic was born. Transformers had everything going for it. Giant robots fighting for Earth's future, mind-blowing CGI, and that big summer blockbuster feel. But let's be honest, beyond all the explosions and action, what really grabbed fans were the humans at the center of it all. Sam Witwicky and Mikaela Banes. Played by Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox, Sam and Michaela brought the heart to the first three Transformers movies. Their stories, personalities, and chemistry helped shape the way we connected with the war between the Autobots and Decepticons. Fans got attached to them fast, which is why their sudden disappearance from the series felt so strange. How did the two main characters just vanish after three huge movies without any real explanation? In this video, we're taking a closer look at what actually happened. From their character arcs to the drama behind the scenes, we're breaking down why the Transformers franchise had to move forward without Sam and Michaela. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. The rise of Sam and Michaela, a human touch in a robotic war. In the first Transformer movie in 2007, Sam Witwicky was your average high schooler who is insecure, fast-talking, and desperate for a car and a girlfriend. He manages to get both, though just not the way he had expected. His dad buys him a 1976 Chevrolet Camaro, which turns out to be Bumblebee, a brave, sentient, and shape-shifting Autobot in disguise. Sam's crash course into heroism also brings him closer to Michaela Banes, the beautiful but no-nonsense girl from his school. But Michaela has her own story. Along with her father's criminal past, her awesome knowledge about cars makes her tougher and smarter than most people would expect. Sam's and Michaela's chemistry was immediate. He was awkward and she was assertive, but they clicked, thanks to Bumblebee, who helped Sam woo his crush. And through them, audiences understood the chaos of the Cybertronian Civil War. Neither Sam nor Michaela were soldiers. They were just people trying to survive in the middle of an alien war zone. Together, they save Bumblebee and fight alongside the Autobots throughout the first installment. In the second part, Revenge of the Fallen from 2009, the dynamic between the lovebirds grew even deeper. Sam was now in college, dealing with long-distance stress, Autobot politics, and prophetic messages embedded in his brain. Michaela, meanwhile, wasn't just the typical girlfriend. She proved her skills and bravery repeatedly, wielding robots, saving Sam's life, and even facing down the evil Decepticons. Once again, Sam and Michaela remained the emotional anchor amidst the chaotic structure of the sequel. They didn't captivate the audiences just by being pretty faces. In fact, they were the only signs of humanity in the chaos and the bearers of real emotion in a story involving titanic machines. Sam's clumsy and confused nature resonated with most of the teenagers, while Michaela's intellect, even with a murky past, was also praised by the audience. These two weren't perfect, but they were very real. That's because the dynamic among them wasn't just something that was written on paper, but LaBeouf and Megan Fox actually had some on-screen synergy, which felt quite effortless. Every glance exchanged and every bickering fight between them added more depth to the story. Moreover, Sam's awkward reactions, combined with Michaela's straight-faced sarcasm, brought much-needed relief to scenes filled with explosions and alien lore. Their love story amidst all the rubble really gave fans something to cheer for between the CGI battles. It was all going great, and yet, by Transformers 3, something was already missing. Megan Fox's controversial exit from star to scandal. As a star, Megan Fox's rise was meteoric. She was catapulted into stardom after Transformers, becoming a global sex symbol and headlining magazine covers. But tensions brewed behind the scenes, particularly between her and director Michael Bay. Fox gave an infamous interview to Wonderland magazine in 2009 in which she literally compared Michael Bay to Hitler. She said, "He wants to be like Hitler on his sets," and he is. so he's a nightmare to work for. The interview didn't sit well with the director, and the backlash was swift. According to Bay, producer Steven Spielberg personally requested Megan's firing. As Bay told GQ, Spielberg was furious at the Holocaust reference and felt it crossed a line. More details emerged from the production side, which suggested that Fox was reportedly difficult to work with, often arrived late, and seemed uninterested. If crew members are to be believed, her attitude really demoralized the whole production environment. However, her fans argued that she was overwhelmed by sudden fame and was never given the same respect or protection as her male counterparts. When Transformers: Dark of the Moon from 2011 began filming, Fox was replaced by British model Rosie Huntington-Whiteley as Carly, Sam's new girlfriend. What's shocking is that Michaela was never even given a proper farewell. No death, no goodbye. Just one line from Sam saying that they broke up. Fox later reflected on the incident, calling it the lowest point of her career. In a 2021 interview, she told Cosmopolitan UK, "That was absolutely the low point of my career. I went through a very public breakdown. I was ahead of the Me Too movement by almost a decade." However, despite leaving Transformers, Fox quickly bounced back with cult hits like Jennifer's Body and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. She still remained unapologetically herself, and many fans now view her exit as both a warning and a turning point in Hollywood's treatment of outspoken women. Shia LaBeouf's quiet departure, the exit without closure. While Fox's exit was quite noisy, Shia LaBeouf left quietly. However, his exit brought much more lasting consequences. After Dark of the Moon, LaBeouf announced he was done with blockbusters. In multiple interviews, he stated he felt creatively exhausted and disconnected from the franchise. He felt that there was no room for Sam's character development. After all, he had already saved the world thrice, and LaBeouf thought his story arc was done. Around this time, LaBeouf also reportedly grew disillusioned with Hollywood itself. He even made a transition into more indie roles with releases like Nymphomaniac, Fury, American Honey, and other art projects, many of them even controversial. For the fans, the most surprising fact was the complete lack of closure. Sam was simply gone, like he never existed. By Age of Extinction in 2014, there's not even any mention of him. Only in The Last Night from 2017 does the name Witwicky appear cryptically. Also, during a scene explaining the secret society of Witwickians, a photo of Sam briefly appears. Sir Edmund Burton, played by Anthony Hopkins, mentions that the last surviving Witwicky has died. It's a blink and you'll miss it moment, but the implication is haunting. Sam may be dead. Again, no funeral and no eulogy. That's definitely not a hero's end. For a character who was once the soul of the franchise, it was a brutal end. But why exactly did Shia leave the franchise for good? Burnout might have been one of the issues, but there were whispers of something far deeper. In the early 2010s, his behavior became increasingly erratic. Shia got into public altercations and was even arrested. More than from his films, he made headlines for his unpredictable performances, which included a live-streamed art piece where he wore a paper bag reading, "I am not famous anymore." In retrospect, it was clear. LaBeouf was done with commercial cinema. The man who once headlined billion-dollar blockbusters was now diving into personal, painful indie projects. He even sort of admitted to the fact in a 2019 interview where he said, "Fame is a weird drug. I was living a very unhealthy lifestyle. Transformers gave me everything, but it also took something from me, my honesty." Despite all the controversies, LaBeouf made a powerful comeback with performances in films like Honey Boy, based on his life, and The Peanut Butter Falcon. This was proof that he didn't leave because he had failed, but because he was looking for something different. Cade Yeager and the New Direction, a franchise reinvented. With Fox and LaBeouf gone, Michael Bay needed a fresh start for his franchise. Fresh faces were needed for the restart, and we see Mark Wahlberg as Cade Yeager, a Texas inventor and single father introduced in Age of Extinction from 2014. The story promptly shifted from coming of age to grit and family duty. In order to make up for the emotional attachment of viewers towards LaBeouf as Sam Witwicky, the new direction was kept much more action-heavy. Sam's clumsy charm and Michaela's warming intellect were replaced by heavy fight scenes and global destruction. Wahlberg definitely brought along the star power, but he just couldn't recreate the same magic. Although Age of Extinction and the subsequent release The Last Night from 2017 were massive global hits, many fans felt that the soul of the series was no more. The new characters seemed to lack the emotional pull of Sam and Michaela. Despite stunning visuals and marvelous CGI, the story still felt hollow. Bumblebee 2018. The return of emotion. However, there came a turning point in 2018 with Bumblebee, directed by Travis Knight. Set in the 1980s, the movie was a soft reboot starring Haley Steinfeld as Charlie, a teenage girl mourning her father who finds Bumblebee as a broken VW Beetle. It was a much smaller film with far fewer explosions, but definitely much more heart. And for many fans, Charlie started to feel like the spiritual successor to Sam, who is also a normal teen whose life changes through compassion, not combat. The movie was received well and praised for its humor and emotional core. These particular factors had been desperately missing since Sam and Michaela left. Bumblebee proved that the Transformers franchise could still tell human stories while being heavily alien-influenced.
I got you, boy.
Will Sam and Michaela ever return? $1,000,000 question. Will the fans be able to see Sam and Michaela ever again on the big screen? We're sure that their reunion would shatter all the records. One day, maybe. However, officially, there are no current plans to bring back either Sam or Michaela. Even the director Michael Bay has lost his interest in making films for the franchise. Anyways, the Transformers franchise is focusing on creating entirely new timelines with Rise of the Beasts and Transformers 1, and therefore Sam and Michaela's chapter seems to be closed for now. But you can never say never in Hollywood. Shia LaBeouf is now older and wiser and has even expressed his love for Sam Witwicky, even though he thinks his story has ended. Megan Fox has also made a return to blockbusters in recent years, and now that Michael Bay is not at the helm, she might be open to a role in the franchise, or even a cameo or a closure scene. Well, the fans would absolutely love it. They still care after all. All social forums from Reddit threads to YouTube tributes are filled with nostalgia for those early movies. For those fans, Transformers will always mean a yellow Camaro with a clumsy boy and the girl who believed in him when no one else did. Marvelous verdict. Sam Witwicky and Mikaela Banes are gone, but never forgot. The duo didn't just witness history, they were history themselves. Being the heart of a franchise which was defined by chaos and steel, their love, humor, and humanity provided some of the most lovable moments in Transformers. Of course, their exits were quite messy, but their legacy remains untouched. Every time Bumblebee revs his engine, fans are instantly reminded about the summer of 2007 when a boy, a girl, and a Camaro saved the world. Will they return? Who knows? We certainly hope so, but even if they don't, they've already earned their place in Cybertronian legend. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.